Hey there, Sparkrock community. We're very pleased to announce version 28 for Sparkrock 2026 Release Wave 1. Now, whether you're managing school operations or delivering programs in your community, version 28 brings updates designed to help your team work more efficiently, stay compliant, and focus more time on the work that matters. This release includes platform updates to Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central 2026 Release Wave 1, bringing new enhancements across user experience, finance, reporting, and administration. As with previous releases, Sparkrock is built on Business Central, and version 28 follows Microsoft's flexible update management process. Now, while version 28.0 is available in early April, our recommendation is to have your Microsoft administrator set your Business Central environment to delay the upgrade to version 28.1, which will be available in May. Making this change now is the approved and fully supported upgrade path for all customers. Once version 28.1 is ready, we'll send communication along with step-by-step guidance for your organization. Now, updating to version 28 must be completed by the end of August 2026, because that is the end of the Microsoft version 28 update window. There'll be a link in the release notes to a video about the platform update process if you'd like to learn more about Microsoft's update windows. Having said that, we recommend that you set the update to version 28.1 as soon as possible so you continue to receive Sparkrock maintenance releases with fixes and new features. All right, with all that out of the way, in the release notes we'll have a link to Microsoft's documentation so you can see everything this platform release contains. But in this video, we'll highlight a few key updates in user experience and platform enhancements, purchase documents improvements, and reporting and financial enhancements. Let's get started. With version 28, there are several improvements that make it easier to understand your data, navigate the system, and manage security. You can now see avatars for users who created or modified records directly in list pages. When switching between list and tile mode, you now have the option to turn on Created Modified By. When it's on, there's a new By column that will show the creator and last modifier at a glance. This makes it easier to understand ownership at a glance, follow up with the right person, and collaborate more effectively across teams, and is especially helpful if you start using Copilot agents to create and update records. Analysis mode continues to evolve in version 28. You can now better understand what you're looking at with improved labeling and tooltips, and it's becoming even more flexible for exploring your data in different ways. Just rename a tab and you can add a description which will show up as a tooltip. This helps users analyze information faster without needing to build formal reports. There's now much more flexibility when it comes to matching purchase invoices. Instead of being limited to a one-to-one match, or assuming that when a purchase invoice is received, posted receipts already exist, you can now match a single invoice line to multiple purchase orders or receipt lines. From purchase invoices, there's a new Matched Order Lines action and screen where you can get order lines and select multiple purchase orders. You can also get receipt lines to get the receipt lines for a purchase order, or use Get Order Lines to bring in all the receipt lines that exist for those matched orders. This gives you an easy way to see the orders and the receipts in one place for a purchase invoice. There's also a new option to make it even easier to automatically create and post receipts when you post an invoice. In the invoice details section of a purchase order, there's a new Receipt on Invoice setting. When it's enabled, and then you match that purchase order to a purchase invoice, you can see there's a Receipt on Invoice checkbox that's checked. So when the purchase invoice is posted and we take a look at what is matched, we can see that the receipts have automatically been generated and posted with the invoice. In version 28, there are new capabilities for report users, authors, and administrators, as well as some changes to some legacy Microsoft reports. Starting with version 28, Microsoft is removing some older legacy reports from Business Central that are hard to change for end users and require technical programming skill to modify. The aged accounts receivable and payable reports, the trial balance reports, and some fixed asset reports are being replaced with more modern Excel versions. And we've updated those Excel reports to support Sparkrock features like account sets. On the company information page, there's a default language code field. This is a company-wide default language for customer-facing documents. So for example, if a customers generally expect to receive documents in English, but a user's language is set to French, documents such as purchase orders will still be sent in English. There's a new tile view for reports. You can see the name and the code for your report, its category, the status, the last time the report has been run, and the internal description. It's an easy way to see what each report actually is and how often it's used. Speaking of categories, let's look at some new features for report administrators. You can now create categories for financial reports, which makes it easier to keep reports organized. Another report organization tool is report lifecycles. Admins can now assign statuses such as active, draft, retired, or any other status that works for you, such as approved or pending approval. On the financial report statuses screen, you can set the blocked status so that if a user tries to use it, they'll receive a warning message. Statuses can be applied to report definitions, row definitions, or column definitions. And finally, for report administrators, there's an audit log where you can see who ran which report when. You can now schedule financial reports to run automatically and send them to the right people. Set the format, choose how often the report runs, and define your recipients, whether that's leadership, department heads, or external stakeholders. Reports can be delivered directly by email or to the report inbox, so everyone gets the information they need without manual effort. Version 28 gives you the ability to run financial reports across the different values of a dimension, like fund, department, or school. With dimension perspectives, you can quickly switch how you view your data without needing to create multiple versions of the same report. Now, you've always been able to set filters on a financial report and run it against that dimension value, but what happens if you want to be able to run it against all the values of the dimension and see all of the values in one report? In the report definitions, you can create a dimension perspective, which can be as simple as just specifying a dimension, or it can be as complex as you want to make it. Then when you run the report, it will show a summary, and then on the following pages, as if you ran it for each dimension. So instead of building separate reports for each department or program, you can slice and compare your data in just a few clicks. There's a new version of the Business Central Word add-in and a new preview version. These can both be installed in the add-ins menu in Word. The vision is you don't need to rely on a developer or a consultant to create or modify a report. You have the power to do it yourself. Of course, we're here to help if you'd like. From the report's layout screen, select the report you'd like to modify, and then select Layout and then Update and Export Layout. Then open it up in Word. It's now easier to navigate through the data items, and you can search to find exactly the field that you're looking for. And when you want to insert a field, you just need to double-click it in the data picker, and it will insert it at the cursor. And if you do this in a table, it will automatically jump over to the next cell to make it easier to keep building out that table. Now, all of these are available in the new version of the Word add-in, but if you install the preview version, there's also an insert table action where you can select the data source, the columns, and easily build out a Word layout from your own data. And finally, several financial reports like trial balance now have improved performance when run in Excel. This helps you work with large data sets more efficiently. When the tools you use every day become easier to navigate, more flexible, and more powerful, it has a real impact on how efficiently your team can work. With version 28 of Sparkrock 2026 Release Wave 1, you'll see improvements in user experience and platform enhancements, purchase documents improvements, and reporting and financial enhancements. And there'll be additional enhancements as we continue through the version 28 update cycle in the coming months. We're excited to hear your feedback and continue shaping future releases together. Thank you so much for watching.